This is a video about the supplies that I use for my advanced intermediate students. The first thing obviously you need is paint and a palette. This is the palette that I recommend for my students. It's a Magello. It's an 18 well palette. You can get it on Amazon for about $10. And it has seals around the edges so that your watercolors don't pour out on you. It's a nice little palette if you're taking classes, Also, the paints that we use, I use only professional grade paints: Senoyer, M. Graham, Core, Da Vinci, Daniel Smith, Winsor Newton, Turner. It's not a bad one, but whatever you prefer, as long as they're not student grade. For the colors, you'll need a warm red, a pyro red, a 254, PR 254, a cool red. I like Permanent Rose by Daniel Smith, but any Permanent Rose or bluey, pinky red will do fine. You need a cool blue, a phthalo blue, green shade, a warm blue, ultramarine, works the best. You could use cobalt. Cobalt's kind of in between. Warm and cool. You need a cool yellow, a lemon yellow, or a PY3, or a Hansa Light. A warm yellow. My favorite is New Gamboge, and I like Winsor Newton's, and I like Daniel Smith's and Da Vinci's the best. In Winsor Newton, there's also a transparent yellow that works fine. You'll need a Payne's Gray, a burnt sienna, and that's the standard beginner's palette for me. I also add cerulean blue to my advanced classes. You'll need an assortment of brushes: a large, a medium, and small round. These are the brushes that I use. I use a mop brush all the time. I use a large and a small mop brush. You can have a number. This is a mixing brush that I use. Princeton Neptune has a nice set of brushes that you can get on Blick for like $29, and it gives you that assortment of brushes. Princeton makes really nice brushes. This is a long round. This is number 8. So you probably need a 4 and 8. And really you can get by with that. Liner, thin brush is nice. It's not essential. Really, as long as you have a mop brush of some kind, a large brush like this, just for wetting your paper, and those brushes. The other brushes I use a lot are these tiny little flat brushes just for scrubbing out. Now that came from Hobby Lobby, so very inexpensive little brush, just for lifting. You'll need masking fluid and something to apply the masking fluid. What I really like are these stylus. You can get these at Hobby Lobby. They're about $2. They're very inexpensive, but they have a metal tip. You can also use what's called a color shaper. You're going to need a water container, a spray bottle, anything. These probably work the best, these little mister bottles. You're going to need a paper. My favorite is Arches. This is inexpensive, 9x12. That's the size we tend to use. Also, this visual journal by Strathmore. It's a 140-pound watercolor. Is my favorite journal that I ask my students to get. You need a pencil and an eraser. And blue painter's tape. Just blue painter's tape to tape off your paper. And any other supplies that you happen to have in your watercolor arsenal will be fine.